Alright, and in this video I wanted to show an interesting workflow which I have found out, which allows me to generate images and make objects, 3D objects from them, and then animate. So it's quite cool. I'm currently in Unreal Engine, and you see one of the examples which I have made. And to achieve this, I've been using several tools. One of it is Trellis. Then there is Confi.ui with some image generation, and Mixamo. For first iteration, we need actually Confi.ui, so we can generate a very interesting image, which we can import then to generate a 3D from it. So let's use a sample prompt to generate an anthropomorphic dog. It might not be working from the beginning, and we need some anthropomorphic or human-like generated image. So in this case we have this dog. We can download it, we can go to GRadio, we can import that image here, and click generate and extract GLB. It takes about 20 to 30 seconds on GTX 4090. After that you can download the GLB file, which we will modify a bit in Blender to be able to import it into Mixamo, and Mixamo will do the heavy lifting for us to animate that 3D object. So here we have a fantastic GLB 3D object which you can download. It can be better sometimes, it works, sometimes it needs to be reiterated to try the best possible outcome. But in general, this GLB file we need to import into Blender. From here we just take it and import. After it's imported, we need to export it as OBJ. We just change the name. We can actually make even a folder. Let's call it dog. We will use this here. I can import this OBJ file Mixamo by clicking upload character and just dragging it here. It takes a few seconds to show you the generated object, and once you have it, you can just confirm that everything is fine. Sometimes this symmetry doesn't work. If it doesn't work, you can just remove the check mark, but the main idea is to show where where your character have knees, groin, elbows, and wrists, and the chin. Once you have it selected, and you can click next. It takes about a minute or two to prepare a skeleton for this character, so it's automatically rig everything. Sometimes it's not the best, I would say, and it's possible to import into Blender and adjust the weights of the bones, but in general it can be pretty good when you import it. Let's see how it works this time. So this time it's more or less good. I just going to select some animation. We can use this dance animation, which is kinda alright. I like this result. I will download the file, and yeah, once it's downloaded, I can import everything of this into Unreal Engine. To do so, I will just use content browser, and I will include first the file which you have at the beginning. Okay, this sample 13 GLB. I will import it into the other objects which I have imported, like that. We have it here, and then I will import the FBX file, like that. when you import FBX file, you need to adjust scale. But in my case, I have already done this, so that's where I have this little guy. I can rotate it. The problem is that it doesn't have textures. Just drag and drop onto that character. I can now hit play, and here we are. We have a new character dancing, which is fantastic, and that's a rather interesting workflow. However, it doesn't always work as yeah, it's just something what generated by the AI. Sometimes it can be like this, but technically, if it works well, then you can get pretty clean output. So that's it. That's what I wanted to show. You can generate also 3D images using the same approach. Of course, you don't need Mixamo then, but in general, I would say it's very interesting workflow to try.